that he's not been hit on the chin. Dillian Whyte can whack, and he's in great shape. And I think that Dillian's going to take this fight and go in there and go, you know what? He's going to roll the dice and punch when, Moses does. And I think that is the importance here. Dillian's got to take the chance early.
I think it might be too soon for Moses. I think Moses is on a great run. I think Dillian, if he had more momentum, it would be, I could probably stamp my authority on the decision a bit more.
For Moses, is he ready for this level? Can he take a shot? What's he like when the going gets tough? Is he overrated?
Boxing experts are cautioning Moses Itauma about facing Dillian Whyte, warning that Whyte's power and experience make him a dangerous opponent. Derek Chisora expressed surprise at Whyte accepting the fight, pointing out that Itauma is still developing and not yet at that elite level. Many believe Moses should gain more ring experience before taking on such a seasoned and high-risk challenger, as it could threaten his promising career too soon.
I had a phone call a couple of weeks ago. They offered me to fight Moses Itauma in Saudi. I said, how much? He said, $2 million. I said, nah, I'm out. I even phoned Dylan. I was like, Dylan, I don't know why you're taking this fight, because this kid is on fire right now. And he's getting better and better. It's not like he's going backwards, he's going forward.
One of the reasons he is taking it is that Moses is WBO #1 at the moment, so that there's some kind of light at the end of the tunnel for Dillian taking that fight.
Ain't no light at that tunnel.
I agree with you. I don't think Dillian gets beyond 4 or 5 rounds.
You're crazy. There's no light at that tunnel. That kid is, you mad. No way. Even Lawrence Okoli said, Moses is bad.
Dean Whyte has voiced concern over the timing of this matchup, suggesting that Dillian Whyte may be too big of a challenge for Moses Itauma at this early point in his career. While he acknowledges Moses' talent and potential, he stresses that boxing at the highest level requires more than just skill. It demands experience and composure under pressure. Dean urges Moses and his team to think carefully, warning that rushing into a fight against a seasoned veteran like Dillian could negatively impact his development.
He's a new kid on the block, the kid with the thunder, big punch in southpaw. He's predicted to be the leading boy of the heavyweight division. So, look, it's a crossroads fight. Obviously, as if you look at it, they're saying they're hoping that the baton will be passed from him beating Dillian. I think Dillian's got other ideas. And Dillian's a man that's never should be written off. I think it might be too soon for Moses. I think Moses is on a great run. I think Dillian, if he had more momentum, it would be, I could probably stamp my authority on the decision a bit more. But still, Dillian's pressing, he's working hard. And if Dillian's up for it, that experience, is going to play a pivotal role in that fight.
Moses Itauma has spoken about his intense preparation for the upcoming fight, making it clear that he's training relentlessly with his coaches. He confidently discusses his training sessions, focused on sharpening his technique and improving his conditioning. Despite concerns from people around him, Moses dismisses any doubt, insisting that no one truly knows what he's capable of. He believes in his mindset, strength, and ability to handle the pressure of facing a veteran like Dillian Whyte, and his focus remains on executing his game plan.
There's nothing to kind of deal with, because it's like the only thing you can do is either get angry or ignore it. So I choose to keep in control of my emotions. So I just kind of ignore it. Like, I'm just only on my own path. Everybody's got their own journey. Everybody's got their own thing. But like, I'm not trying to compare anything.
Yeah.
And we was just talking about it with my coaches yesterday. It's like, a lot of people put pressure because they're too worried about the outcome. I'm not worried about the outcome. I'm worried about the game plan. And then the game plan leads to the outcome. So I don't think of things that I can't control. Your opinions I can't control. Like, for example, if I go to bed today, I wake up tomorrow morning, I still got to play the Moses Itauma role.
Yeah.
So my feelings and opinions of myself can't be based on what someone else thinks of me, because you don't have to play the Moses Itauma role 24/7. I do. So I just choose to ignore him.
Dillian Whyte, right? I think it surprised a few when he got announced. It was like, okay, and all of a sudden people were like, This is an interesting fight. Old Lion versus young Lion. What do you make of Dillian Whyte and where he is now in his career?
I think I might be boxing the best Dillian Whyte there is, because, you know, this is his last chance. So I just got to kind of stop him from coming back into the division. To be honest, for a long time,
Dillian Whyte has sent a clear message to Moses Itauma not to underestimate him. He emphasized that his grit, experience, and fighting spirit make him different from any opponent Moses has faced. Whyte spoke about the energy gap between them, stressing that his years of experience in high-stakes bouts provide an edge that youth alone can't replace. He made it known that he's coming into this fight with something to prove, and Moses should expect a fierce, determined opponent.
I ain't frustrated media, I was frustrated people talking shit, and then when they come and see him in shape and different mindset, then they start changing their minds and opinion. I'm like, yo, I have the same energy, bro. I have the same energy. When I'm 118, 120 kilos, I have the same energy, because now I'm light and I look like I'm in shape. Then now everybody's like, oh, yeah. I'm like, yo, come on, man. You know, I don't need to be 100% to win some fights, because I'm a fighter. I know what to fight. He's had more amateur fights than me and all of this other, you know. He's doing what he's meant to know. And one thing is, he's got the what's the word I'm looking for? The ignorance of inexperience. You know, I didn't say it right, but I'm tired. Yeah. Ignorance of youth or whatever it is. Yeah, I'm not a chump, bro. You know, I'm not a chump. You know, obviously people writing me up, but I'm not a chump. So this is what happened Saturday.
Dillian, one word. What can we expect on Saturday night?
What I always bring, man. I always bring that. With me, there's always that unpredictability in the ring, you know what I mean?
A training partner close to Dillian Whyte has shared insights into the heavyweight's form. Ahead of the bout, he revealed that Whyte is in the best physical shape he's seen in a long time, moving with purpose, landing powerful punches, showing sharp footwork, and demonstrating strong endurance during sparring. The partner noted Whyte's laser focus and said he's approaching this fight with utmost seriousness, which could spell serious trouble for Moses Itauma.
I sparred Dillian the last time when he fought against Fury, and he developed very good. Like, he's in good shape for his upcoming fight against Itauma. I think he's in great shape.
Boxing analysts have praised Moses Itauma for his maturity inside and outside the ring. With over 20 amateur fights and extensive sparring experience, he's earned respect for his skill, discipline, and poise. However, they also highlight that this fight marks a significant jump in competition. Facing a veteran like Dillian Whyte, who has fought world champions, will test not only Moses' boxing abilities, but also his mental resilience under intense pressure.
Now, Itauma only had about 20 or so amateur fights. He has done a lot of sparring, but again, sparring is behind closed doors. You're in an environment that you feel comfy in. You're away from the scrutiny of the camera. You're not allowed, strictly speaking, you're not really allowed, and most gyms won't allow you to record a spar. They might show you a glimpse of footage, but you're talking 5 seconds, maybe, if even. So he's been kind of away in his own comfort zone. He's fought on big shows as co-main event. I believe him against McKeon was co-main event on Fury Youssef too. But again, he's going in as the firm favourite against the fighter he's expected to beat. And he's the bridesmaid, right? He's fought in the he's fought in the York Hall a couple of times. He's fought low down the card. You know, Itauma's always been that guy. You know, he can learn his craft. He's not strictly, you know, the eyes of the world are on you, etc. Getting bigger, and, you know, more people are talking about him, but still, you know, comfy at his own pace. Now his first headline. Bear in mind, Joshua's first headline, I believe, was at the O2 against Gary Cornish. Correct me if I'm wrong on that one, but I know he headlined that night. And this is his first headline. A pay-per-view in Saudi Arabia against Dillian Whyte, and all the media work that comes with it. You did a face-off on Monday. You had the grand arrivals yesterday. You're doing the public workout today. You're doing the press conference tomorrow. You're doing the weigh-in tomorrow. Or you're doing the weigh-in on Friday. Now you're doing fight night on Saturday. You'll have a press conference most likely after. Lots going on. Lots going on for a young man at 20. How is he caking all that? And that's what I'm wondering. It really, again, you know, you compare him to maybe someone like an Anthony Joshua, and it's like, well, AJ had, you know, all this experience in the amateurs. He had, you know, the Sky, you know, machine behind him and stuff like that. But he was a lot older than Itauma. Again, how old would AJ have been? What, mid to late 20s? 25, 26, thereabouts. So old enough to be, a bit more sturdy in that. Does have me wondering with Itauma. It is a wonder. But personally, I think Itauma, when I look at him, I think that there's something there with this kid. I think he's got an old head on young shoulders. I think that this is the first, look, it's his first time headliner. It's the first pay-per-view. Probably will be jeers.
Some analysts believe this fight could be a make or break moment for Dillian Whyte. A loss to a young prospect like Moses Itauma could effectively end his run at the top level. This desperation, they say, makes Whyte especially dangerous. With his career on the line, Dillian is expected to fight with urgency and aggression, knowing that a win could re-establish him as a legitimate contender, while a loss could raise serious questions about his future.
I know, relax. Moses has been performing under the bright lights, but what I'm saying is, it's still so early and he's got a lot to prove. Up until this point, I can't argue. He's passed every test with flying colours, but the problem is, he's passed so easily. He's missed out on valuable lessons along the way, and he's now got a very experienced veteran in front of him in Dillian Whyte, who's been at world level. Everybody's written Dillian off, but recently, seeing interviews and seeing training footage, I'm liking what I'm seeing. I've got to be honest, my mind's starting to shift. Let's take a look and discuss the key takeaways.
I don't think I've ever seen you be this big an underdog in a fight. You are like 1-14.
Dev asked Dillian, how does he feel being the underdog?
And that's what makes you dangerous. As an underdog, you're underneath. You get up at them testicles and lock onto them, and it's game over.
It's crazy really because like I said, he's fought at world level, fighting the likes of Povetkin, Fury, Chisora, AJ, Parker, the list goes on. But in sports, you're only as good as your last performance. In Dillian's last fight, he looked terrible, putting it politely.
Has he put something in you? Because like your last few fights, Ebenezer like instilled a fear, not...
No man has put anything in me. Pause this.
Dillian does make me laugh. Dark humour. But maybe that says more about me. He says it the way it is. There's no sugar coating. Dev says, is this the biggest risk he's took in his career? Which again is madness.
All of them has been massive because you think no one's ever had me as the favourite. Think of one fight that was the favourite. Just think.
Dylan's right. He's always the underdog. It's nothing new.
How do you reflect on your fight with Tete?
It was what it was. Listen, I've been walking the long, lonely, dark road for 3 years.
This is the thing. People forget that fighters go through things outside of the ring which affect the performance, but us fans only judge the performance. At the end of the day, fighters are human, they're not robots.
Then that fight for me was, ask myself a question, can I take a good walk and push through? Can I force myself to put the jabs in? Can I...
He admits he wasn't in great shape, but that fight for him was about dipping his foot in the water and seeing if he still got it and still wants it.
I had a few injuries and stuff going into the fight, but it is what it was. But that fight reignited that's me.
A TalkSport boxing analyst has shared an interesting view, noting that while Dillian Whyte's recent performances haven't been his best, this version of him looks different. The analyst points out a noticeable change in training intensity, physical condition, and strategy, suggesting that fans might be underestimating him. He believes this fight is not only a major test for Moses Itauma, but also a chance for Dillian Whyte to remind the world of what he's capable of.
We've not really seen him, and that's where his weakness could be.
Of course. I mean, if you try to go out there and blast him out, you're playing into his hands because he's young, he's fast, and he can punch. So sometimes you gotta walk him down.
You've been part of the Dillian Whyte team now. Dillian Whyte joined you, right? He left Mark Tibbs and said, "Okay, I need Buddy McGirt." You've been part of the team for a while. Do you have any say on the opponent? Now, does he come to you, for example, and say, "Look, okay, this is what we want to do," and then you can kind of give him guidance, or is it a case of, "This is the opponent. Get me ready for this opponent, buddy"?
Well, it's like this. In a situation like this, when they come to you, he said to me, "Listen, buddy, this is what they're putting on the table for me." I said, "So what do you want to do?" I mean, I don't want to say, "Yeah," and you're not feeling it. I want to see what you're feeling. And he goes, "I got to go for it." So, all right, let's go. We're a team. So if that's what we got to do, that's what we got to do. I mean, if we got to go through this hailstorm to get to the other side of the fuck, we got to do what we got to do.
Buddy, I saw something the other day, and I don't believe you. I want to pull you up on it. I think I saw that you said you haven't seen Moses box before, and you don't watch your opponent's box. But I don't believe you, buddy. I don't believe you.
I swear to you, I will not lie to you.